was a gripe-free Tuesday, and we are right back at it today. Griping away, and this time it's about all things gardens and flowers, Frankie. People write you in all the time.
Yeah, lots of emails, especially at this time of the year, because now that we're getting warmer, bug populations are starting to increase. Many people out there already have their gardens planted. And with that, they're now getting into some, some difficulties. Some
sticky situations.
Yes.
Let's begin with the first question. This comes from Dominic Ruggiero. He says, Frank, I've got 2 hemlock plants that have turned brown over the winter. Just wondering, will they recover? And thank you.
Well, this is a common question I've been getting from hemlocks all the way to yews, to firs, to spruce, to boxwood. And what this is caused by is what's called winter burn, which is a moisture loss in the plant during the winter months. Will they come back? If it's over 50% brown, my recommendation is to replant. Some of them will rebound back. This was the worst winter that we've ever seen.
So it doesn't have to cut back some of the brown?
The first thing that you should do is to prune off as much brown as possible.
Right.
But if the plant's over 50% brown, the amount of effort and time that it's going to take for you to prune and water and fertilize, and then you're better off to replant it. But if it's about 30% and you're seeing the percentage of brown a little less, you take your hand, you clean it all out just by shaking the needles out, prune off any of those dead stems, keep them well watered, fertilize with something with a high nitrogen, and a root feeder is probably the best solution for that. And it'll stimulate new growth and they'll fill in.
So give them lots of water, TLC love.
Yeah.
Here's another one from Nancy Davidson. I've been told that I have leaf miners in my miniature rose. What's that? Trying to keep the infected leaves picked off, almost just the stems now and the flowers, and I've been spraying them every day for a week with rose insecticide. Not winning. Any suggestions would really be appreciated. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, so that's the larvae. That you can see why they're called a miner, is that they almost create like a tunnel effect on the leaves. Good news is that it doesn't necessarily kill the plant. The bad news is because it's inside the leaf, and what you need is a systemic insecticide to take care of that. Now with the cosmetic pesticide ban, there's no longer available. So the only solution that you have is really to try to prune off as many of those leaves as possible. Continue to spray with your insecticide. Probably what she's using is one that's an insecticidal soap, something like Bug Be Gone. You're going to be spraying that every 10 days as a prevention. So you pick off all those leaves, you spray every 10 days as a prevention, which will get rid of some of the eggs and the larvae. You want to work around the soil on them. And then for really badly infected plants, sometimes the solution is to remove those and put in plants that are resistant to leaf miner.
Like what?
When it comes to roses, there are different varieties. Probably the best variety of rose that has an insect resistance is one that's called knockout roses.
Knockout roses, good name.
They're probably the ones that we are right now in the industry enjoying because they don't cause not that many problems.
Lori Demore says, what do I use to fertilize corn? Can you use mulch on a vegetable garden to cut down on the weeding?
Yeah, so here's a picture, and I wanted to show you something incorrect about this picture.
Okay.
They showed the mulch that's down there, and it's just a cedar mulch. And that cedar mulch that's down there will actually pull nitrogen from the soil. That's bad when it comes to corn. If you are mulching corn, you want to use clean straw, very important. Corn loves nitrogen. The Aboriginal people used to say that they would put a dead fish and then put a kernel of corn on top and then put soil on top, because as that dead fish would break down, it would put nitrogen right to the corn. They're heavy feeders, so when you're fertilizing your corn, you want to make sure you're using something high in the first number. Don't use a cedar or a bark-based mulch underneath corn, because that'll pull nitrogen from the soil.
Got it, Frankie?
Yeah.
Linda Gordon says, the city of Waterloo, this is interesting, digs up tulip bulbs from the flower beds once they bloomed and sells them back to the public. Very cool.
Yeah.
I've bought 2 dozen. Can I plant the bulbs that I've purchased right now, or do I wait till autumn?
You want to wait till autumn. So what you want to do is keep them in a cool, dark space where they can remain dormant. So if you do have a cold cellar, a fruit cellar, like something like that, that is an ideal location. And then what you're going to do is you're going to plant them just a couple weeks to 3 weeks before the real frost starts to set in. And that's the time when you want to plant them, in October.
That's smart that they do that.
That's great.
Sort of like a recycling program.
Yeah, it's a great way to give back.
Oh, we're out of time. Really quickly, Pep Hike. My yellow leaves on my, how do I say this? Dipladenia.
Yes.
Face to the east side.
Yeah.
Flowers are beautiful, but what about the yellow leaves?
The reason why he's getting yellow leaves on the east side is it's only morning sun. Your Dipladenia wants full sun. It's probably the water's sitting there too long. Put it in a sunnier location. You'll get rid of the yellowing leaves and you'll have garden glory.
And any more gripes? Pick up Frankie's book, Power Plants, along with Bryce Wild. It's available on Amazon. It's a bestseller. Again, you can go to breakfasttelevision.ca for a direct link to purchase the book. I'm still laughing, Frankie. You see, at the end of the day, you're still my half fratello, whether I like it or not.
Well, this is, but we're like brother and sister.
This is what we do, and we're all very, very entertained by your tweets on Twitter.
And keep them coming. If you want us to fight about anything else, we will.
He's a scrapper, and he's in a scrappy mood, and yet we match. See, wardrobe in our wardrobe mentality, we're in line, and that's it today.
And that's it.
Right now, over to Melanie, the referee of the newsroom. No.